Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with Texas Best Used Motorcycles. Here today to show you a really beautiful Jeep Unlimited LJ. And this was actually my personal rig. I owned it for almost 10 years. To start up front, the motor was installed by Burnsville Off-Road. They also did the coilover suspension, which I'll get into that in a minute. But it's a 5.7 liter Hemi. It's got an aluminum radiator, cold air conditioning. You can see the shock towers, the PSC steering reservoir. Everything on this Jeep is just first class. It's never left me stranded. It's just been an awesome Jeep. It's also got a Highline kit with the AEV heat reduction hood and the Highline fenders. The coilover shocks were installed by Burnsville Off-Road, and you can see the welding and fabrication on the frame. It's just all top notch. This was all taken apart, it was fabbed up, then it was powder coated. It's got the bomb-proof motor mounts. It's got a worn 9.5 Ti winch up front, LED light in the center, and two worn high-intensity lights. It also has a TerraFlex sway bar system. You basically just pull this knob out and twist it to disconnect it. And I just want to show you the workmanship on the frame while we're over here on the side. And they notched the frame so the shocks would have room to flex. It's got a power steering cooler. The axles are Currie Rock jocks, and they're rotated to give the same clearance as a Dana 44, but the axle is actually a Dana 60. So it's very heavy duty. It's got ARB air lockers in the front and a Detroit locker in the rear. I just got these tires. These are Milestar Patagonias. One trip to Colorado, and they really perform nice. The wheels are brand new Raceline beadlocks. It has lots of body armor. The rocker guards on the bottom, and this whole quarter panel is basically armor. It's got some rock chips from going down some gravel roads, but it's all a wraparound. You can see the factory metal and then the armor. It's all very heavy duty. And I want to show you the workmanship in the back as well. The welds are perfect. This poly bushing you see in that bar going up, that is where the roll cage ties into the frame back in the back. It also ties in at the B pillar. Charlie St. John Welding made those mounts for me. And then the A pillar, same deal. It's tied into the frame with a poly bushing. It's got a long arm kit, flat skid plate. You can see the drive lines. They're high pinion, which gets the drive shafts out of the way. High pinion in the rear as well. And also a Dana 60 rock jock. Really good axles. The seats are Mastercraft. And these are the suspension seats. It's got an Atlas twin stick transfer case, automatic transmission. It has the ARB compressor for the lockers. And this is actually the rear compressor to air up the tires, and I'll show you that in a minute. That's your ARB compressor up front for the front locker. Air conditioning is cold, and it's got a very large double subwoofer system in the back. A place in San Antonio, I believe, did the install on that. And the big radio was actually done by the previous owner. They even put 5.7 liter Hemi on the floor mats. Yeah, custom sounds, Austin, San Antonio, and El Paso. They did the window tint as well as the stereo. The cage was done by a place on the East Coast, and I just can't remember their name, but the guy had relatives here, and I bought 2 cages from him, and he delivered them for me here to Texas. But the A-pillar goes down to the floor and it's tied into the frame, but it's a beautiful, nice welded cage, and it's all powder coated. And he guarantees a perfect fit because he used a TJ tub as a jig when he welded everything up. And of course this Jeep was straight and roll cage fit beautifully. Those seats recline on both sides. There's a high lift jack in the back. This Rampage top, you can unzip these side windows in the rear, and there's a place to slide them into the top if you want it to go kind of safari style. Back in the back there's a air tank and an air line so you can air up your wheels. A high lift jack, kind of get another, hopefully you can see the roll cage. I love this roll cage. Still got the carpet in it. It's got flush mounted LED tail lights, a worn rock crawler bumper, got the little W in it, a real nice worn heavy duty spare tire carrier. And I've taken this on several Jeep Jamborees, and of course they do require that you have your spare tire with you, but at least they let us put a little bit bigger tires. It used to be limited to 37s. These are 38s, and they really work good on this Jeep. Still got the old school CB antenna. And you can see the body armor on this side. And again, the workmanship on the frame. The tie-in for the roll cage on the rear. It's really a nice Jeep. I did get into some rocks in Moab, and I kind of damaged the top a little bit right here. Scratched the top of the door frame. The interior lights all work. Air conditioning blows cold. The stereo is pretty amazing. In fact, we'll start it up. But the 5.7 liter Hemi does a really good job of powering the Jeep. The Atlas transfer case gives you the low gears. And this is a heat reduction hood, so it's vented. And that tape you see there, I put the hood was just rubbing these shock towers. And when it flexes out, it kind of pushes on the hood. You can see the engine coolant overflow. When you do a Highline kit, you have to kind of relocate a few things. We'll start her up. Showing 78,000 miles. That's probably how many miles are on the odometer. The motor, when it was put in, I don't know how many miles it had. The paint is still in very good shape. I've taken very good care of it. I don't go play in the mud. It's more rock crawler, going to Moab, hot springs, running the trails in Colorado. Been to Palo Duro Canyon several times. It's just a really good Jeep. The wheelbase measures out, it's stretched in the front and the rear, and it measures out at 107.5. And I recently took it to Tribe 16 off-road, and I had all the heim joints replaced. And I've got the receipts. That was just done pretty recently. The body mounts have been moved up. It's got limiting straps on the front end. Flex is really good. That keeps everything in place. But it's really been a great Jeep. I'm gonna miss it. I have a couple other Jeeps. I'm a lucky person. I have several Jeeps. The motor runs smooth. There's no issues. Just changed the oil. I use Mobil 1 synthetic. Sorry this video is so long, but it's a good LJ. There's lots to talk about. You know, it's kind of funny, I'm looking back. When I was looking for an LJ, my son had bought one. He got a really nice one. And I said, you know, I'm gonna look for that old man that has a wonderful Jeep, but he just can't get in and out of it anymore. And he's just gonna sell it. Well, this is the one that I found. And now it's like history's repeating itself. Now I'm that old man selling a really awesome Jeep to the next caretaker. But whoever gets it will enjoy it. I've got lots of pictures on a lot of trails that I can send you. Probably a few videos. The main thing I changed before selling it, my son gave me a set of old school Walker Evans wheels, and I wanted to keep those, so I bought these brand new race lines, they actually look beautiful on the Jeep. So some of my off-road photos, I was running 37-inch Goodyears with the Walker Evans wheels. We did Holy Cross Trail with these Patagonias when we were up at Twin Lakes, and they aired down. They worked really well. But again, sorry to bore you with this long video. Hope you have a great day. I'm Bronco Bob wishing you happy trails. Somebody's gonna get a wonderful Jeep.